The most important aspect of football is prevention and protection from injury. In order to be successful as a football player, you have to perform, and in order to perform, you have to be out on the field playing. And in order to do that, you have to protect yourself from different types of injuries. Now I'm going to show you from head to toe the different types of equipment that football players wear and why they wear it. First, and probably most important part of the equipment is the helmet. The helmet will protect you against blows to the head, face, and even parts of the neck. Going down, we've got a neck roll, and as you can see, it rotates all the way about the head and neck. And what that does is prevent the head from hyperextending or going too far, farther than the neck should go. Now, if this player received a blow to the head backwards, this neck roll will prevent the neck from going too far and thereby giving injury to the back of the neck. Also, it prevents and protects the neck from side-to-side injuries. Going down the list is the shoulder pads. Shoulder pads can protect the sternum, the tops of the shoulders, all the way down the back and part of the spine. And the shoulder pads are also a big part of the equipment package because most of football is used with the upper body, tackling, blocking, getting hit. You use your shoulders a lot of times, and it's a good protectant for the upper body. Coming down, you've got rib protectors, flak jacket, and these things can absorb a great amount of pressure. You've seen people take baseball bats and slap it against these protectors to protect the ribs. And it not only goes to the front part of the ribs, but the sides and also around the back. Now, different players may use a modified version, like myself. I broke my ribs and my back a couple years ago, and what I use is a narrower piece that just covers the back. Next down the list are the hip pads. Now, the hip pads will protect your hip part of your body, and you've heard the expression hip pointer, and a hip pointer is when you receive a blow to this area here. There's a bone that protrudes out from your hip, and it's a very painful injury to have. You want to keep that protected, that area, those hips. Coming around the back, we've got what we call a tail pad. Now, the tail pad will protect the spine at the spine's lowest point, and that's a very vulnerable part of the body, and if that's injured, it could be very serious. So you want to protect that tail part, the bottom part of the spine, so we wear what's called a tail pad. We've got the hip pad on the other side, and coming down farther, we wear the thigh pads, and the thigh pads protect the thighs from collisions, from tackles, somebody's knee coming up and hitting you in that area. You want to try to protect as wide an area as you can, but also allow room for mobility. And there again, a wide receiver may want to have a smaller, thinner pad than offense or defensive lineman, so as a defensive back would also rather have a smaller one. Coming down, we've got the knee pads. Now, the knee pads will protect the knee and the upper part of the knee where the thigh pads don't protect. And that's important when you're falling down on the AstroTurf, the hard surfaces. You can protect the front part of the knee from any injury and the patella tendon from any injury. Also, what a lot of linemen are wearing these days to protect the knees are knee braces. Now, this brace starts down here, and it's held together here at this point and this point. And there are different kinds of braces. This particular one's a steel one encased in cloth, and it protects the outside part of the knee from a blow this way. I've seen guys take these protectants off after a game, and you can see them bent. And without this type of equipment, a lot of guys would have serious knee injuries. Down, we've got the socks and more importantly, the shoes. There are different types of shoes for different surfaces. Grass shoes, and you've got AstroTurf shoes for the AstroTurf. And it's important there to just have a good fit and make sure you've got good traction to keep you from sliding, and those kind of things keep you from getting injuries. Accessory pads that some guys will wear. We've got a forearm pad, which many linebackers, linemen will use when they use their forearms to shed off blocks or make tackles. Some guys will just wear cloth on the AstroTurf to protect their elbows from AstroTurf burns. Hand pads, again, for linemen and linebackers. They use their hands a lot to shed off people and make collisions. Again, this isn't very appropriate for a wide receiver or defensive back or running back. But then again, if you do sustain an injury to the back of the hand, you can modify this type of pad to protect yourself against further injury. And it's very important to protect yourself fully from injury on the football field. And the only way to do that is have the proper type of padding, and that padding will change from position by position or individual preference, but it's more important to be protected.